Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillahi wa kafa. Wassalamun ala ibadihi alladhina istafa. Khususan ala sayyidil awwaleen wal akhirin wa khatamin nabiyyin wal mursaleen. Sayyidina wa nabiyyina wa Maulana Mohammed wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa baraka wa sallama tasliman kathiran kathira. Amma ba'du. Qala an-nabiy sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, al-kayyisu man dana nafsahu wa amila lima ba'da al-maut. Sadaqa rasuluhu an-nabiy al-kareem wa nahnu ala dhalika lamin ash-shahidin wa ash-shakirin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Ya Rabbi salli wa sallim da'iman abadan ala habibika khayri khalqi kullihim. Respected elders, young brothers, friends, brothers and sisters. In my last week's talk, I was mentioning regarding the beginning of a year, and when the year comes to an end, what we do in order to celebrate the arrival of a new year, and what we do when the year comes to an end. When the year comes and begins, on our WhatsApp groups, we start congratulating each other upon the arrival of the new year. The more important thing upon which we should have been pondering over and thinking of, we neglect it and we totally forget it. And that important thing is, when the year comes to an end, we should ponder over our past 12 months, what we have done to please Allah, and what we have done through which we displease Allah. And when the year begins, we should make a firm intention that, oh Allah, previously I was neglectful. Now this year begins, I will be dutiful and I will be mindful of everything, and I will obey you, and I will avoid disobedience. And I was quoting the saying of Ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala anhu, which I mentioned last week, that he says, how can I rejoice? How can I be joyful when the death is waiting for me, and the qabr, the grave, is before me, and the Qiyamah is to come, and over Jahannam we have to walk, and we have to stand before our Creator. A similar saying of Umar bin Khattab radiallahu ta'ala anhu, in which he says, Hasibu anfusakum. Take an account of your own selves. Qabla an tuhasabu, before you are reckoned. meaning self-assessment. We should assess our own selves. And the ulama, they say, at the end of every day, in the evening, we should assess ourselves. And we should look what I have done from morning till evening. This is called a muhasaba. Hasibu anfusakum qabla an tuhasabu. You take an account of your own selves. Assess yourself. If you come to this conclusion that this day I've spent in the obedience of Allah, then thank Allah. And say, oh Allah, give me more tawfiq and ability to do the good. And if unfortunately, if we were disobedient to Allah through the whole day till evening, then we should turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and repent to Allah. This is called an assessment of our own selves. Hasibu anfusakum qabla an tuhasabu. Before you are reckoned. And when are we going to be reckoned? On the day of judgment. يَوْمَ يَقُومُ النَّاسُ لِرَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. The day in which the servants of Allah will be standing before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he, radiallahu ta'ala anhu, says, وَزِنُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ قَبْلَ أَن تُوزَنُوا. You should weigh your own selves, meaning weigh your amals and your actions, your words, before they are weighed. On the day of judgment, our amal which we do today, they will be weighed on the scale. Before our amals are weighed, we should weigh our aqwal, what we say, what we do at every evening. And before we should say anything, we should weigh our saying, what I'm going to say. And before we do something, we should think what I'm going to do. Is this going to please Allah? Am I going to waste my time in this? Is this any beneficial to me in this dunya and hereafter? If it is not beneficial to us in the akhirat and in this dunya, we should avoid it, we should leave it. So this is the time now. You know, when we go to the graveyard, we learn a lesson we learn. We see those people are sleeping. They can't do nothing. We should think that we have a chance now. We have a time now. They cannot do anything now. The book of deeds for them is closed now. They can't do nothing. But I have a time now to do something in order to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Before a time comes, I will be here sleeping. This zindagi, this life is a blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for me and you. It's a blessing. When Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was asked by someone, who is the best type of person in the community? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam replied by saying, man ta'ala umuruhu wa hasuna amaluhu. The one who has a long life. The one who has long life and he has good actions. Min sa'adatil mar'i an yatula umruhu wa yarzuqahu Allahu inaba. It is a good fortune for a believer to have a long lifespan. And in this long lifespan, he turns to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on every occasion. On every occasion, he turns to Allah Almighty. And if he makes a mistake, he says to Allah, you forgive me. And if he does something good, he says to Allah, oh Allah, you give me more tawfiq. I thank you that I have done something good to please you. And oh Allah, give me more tawfiq that I can please you. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam very clearly, he said, if you want to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the only way is that you do the good deeds. Through the good deeds, you will be able to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Hassan Basri rahmatullah used to say, beware of delaying. For delaying is the biggest deception for one. You know, you say, let's leave this today, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll start praying from tomorrow, or I'll start praying from next week, or I'll do Hajj next year. I'll do Hajj. Hajj is fard, I'll do Hajj next year. He says, avoid, beware of delaying. This delaying is the biggest deception. It deceives us. Oh, tomorrow. And this tomorrow never comes. This tomorrow, they say, मैं आज को कल और कल को आज बना देता हूँ. I say, I'll do this tomorrow. When tomorrow comes, this tomorrow becomes today. मैं आज को कल और कल को आज. I will do this tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. When tomorrow comes, I say this tomorrow becomes today. And that tomorrow never comes. So we should learn a lesson from around us, what's happening. The people who are passed away, the people whose janazah we perform, we should learn a lesson from that. मेरे इंतहाई काबिल एहतराम, गुज़िश्ता हफ्ते मेरी गुफ्तगू आपसे इस मौजू पर हो रही थी कि हमें अपनी मौत को, अपनी कब्र को, अपनी आखिरत को, अल्लाह के सामने खड़ा होने को हमेशा अपने सामने और अपनी आंखों के सामने रखना चाहिए. और मैं हजरत उमर बिन खत्ताब रज़ियल्लाहु तआला अन्हु का एक कौल बयान कर रहा हूं कि वो फरमाते हैं कि अपने आप का मुहासबा करो कबल इसके कि तुम्हारा मुहासबा किया जाए. अपना हिसाब लो कबल इसके उस दिन के आने से पहले पहले, कि जिस दिन तुम्हारा हिसाब लिया जाएगा उस दिन के आने से पहले पहले अपना हिसाब ले लो. क्या मतलब? अपना मुहासबा करो. हर रात को बैठकर चंद मिनट निकालो, मुहासबा करो कि मैंने पूरा दिन किस तरह गुजारा. क्या मेरा दिन अल्लाह की रजा, उसकी खुशनुदी में गुजरा या उसको नाराज करने में गुजरा. और वो फरमाया करते थे अपने आप का वजन करो, यानी अपने आमाल को तोला करो कबल इसके कि वो तोले जाएं. कल क़यामत के दिन हमारे आमाल तोले जाएंगे, हमारे अक़वाल तोले जाएंगे और मीज़ान अदल के अंदर रखे जाएंगे. और अल्लाह तबारक व तआला वहाँ किसी के साथ जुल्म नहीं करेंगे. अल्लाह किसी के साथ जुल्म नहीं करेंगे. हजरत उमर फारूक हमें ये नसीहत कर गए हैं उस दिन के आने से पहले पहले कि जिस दिन हमारा हिसाब लिया जाएगा और जिस दिन हमारे आमाल तोले जाएंगे, उस दिन के आने से पहले पहले अपना मुहासबा कर लो और अपने आमाल को, अपने अक़वाल को तोल लो, ताकि कल क़यामत के दिन तुम्हें शर्मिंदा ना होना पड़े. इसलिए रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम फरमाया, अल-कय्यिसु मन दाना नफ्सहु, अक्लमंद, दाना, होशियार, समझदार वो है जो अपने नफ्स का मुहासबा करता है. वह आमिल लिमा बादल मौत, और आखिरत के लिए जो आने वाली जिंदगी है उसके लिए तैयारी करता है. ये अक्लमंद इंसान है अल्लाह की निगाह के अंदर, अल्लाह के नबी की निगाह के अंदर. वाला आजिज़ु मन अतबअ नफ्सहु हवाहा व तमन्ना अल्लाह, बेवकूफ अहमक वो है कि जो अपनी नफ्स की पैरवी करता है और करता कुछ भी नहीं, अल्लाह की ज़ात से उम्मीदें लगाए हुए है कि जन्नत मुझे अल्लाह देगा.